Hi everybody, my name's Kelly Moore and I'm a speech pathologist from the Independent Living Centre of WA. I'd like to welcome you to this short webinar for the School of Special Education Needs Disabilities. This webinar is designed for teachers who are supporting students using Dynavox communication devices. Okay, so this is the range of Dynavox devices that are currently available on the market at the time of recording. So Dynavox is essentially a brand of communication devices, and within their brand there are a number of different models available. So this blue device here is the Dynavox V. You've got the larger version called the Dynavox V Max, the Dynavox Maestro, small portable version called the Dynavox Express, and a simpler version of the Dynavox range, the Dynavox M3 and M3 Max. So what can these communication devices do? Majority of those devices, except for the M3 range, are running what's called the Dynavox Series 5 software, and that software can enable a broad range of functions including communication with voice output, availability of pages for keyboarding or text input, which can be used for literacy tasks, as well as some additional activities such as photo albums, being able to email or text message from your device, connecting your communication device up to the computer so you can send across or print what you've written using your device or spoken using your device that day, as well as features to control your environment. Just briefly, there are a range of accessories available, from carry bags to key guards and straps to increase accessibility, as well as different resources such as the Access IT to be able to connect to your computer, and stands and mounting plates to make the device be positioned in the best position for the individual. Just briefly wanted to tell you a little bit about the hardware that's available. Just at the top here you can see the on and off button for this range of devices, and all of the devices have a side panel. So just along here you'll be able to see a speaker port if you needed to plug in a speaker for additional volume, perhaps for a school assembly. There's also a microphone port if you had a reason to plug in an additional microphone, perhaps to record some messages, though the device itself does have an inbuilt microphone. Just here you can see a couple of USB ports. They're designed for you to be able to put things into the device. For example, you might wish to upload photos onto particular buttons for communication. It's also used for bringing information out of the device, for example, saving the work and customizations that you've done on the communication pages. Here you've got spots 1 and 2 designed for switches, so if you have a student that's using switch access, that's where the switches go. And lastly, you've got the port for the charger just here. I just wanted to give a brief background to the software that's available on all of the devices that I mentioned, aside from the M3 and the Express. So this software is available on V, V Max, V Plus, V Max Plus and Maestro. It's called the Dynavox Interact software. I don't want to go into it in too much detail, but I basically wanted to point out that ready-made pages are available for young children and for teenagers, and then you can choose age-appropriate language but at the complexity for the individual. So we have what's called emergent pages, which are entry-level, lots of whole messages, all the way through to independent pages where someone might be able to type out what they say or compose sentences using whole words. This is an example of some pages that come within the middle and higher levels of the graph that I just showed you. It's called Gateway, and this is really a core word based sentence building type display. So you can see you've got pronouns here in yellow, verbs available in green, and then a number of categories off the side. So this page is really designed for that sentence building. Up the top here we've got what's called the message window. As we push on the particular buttons, those words can go up there, and then when we click up there, the individual can say the whole sentence. We've got links to other pages with whole made phrases, for example, or questions, and then some function type buttons, to be able to delete a word or to be able to clear what was in the message window. Okay, so I wanted to make you aware that this software that I'm about to demonstrate is available for a free download. You can head on to the Dynavox Tech website, choose support and then the download center to be able to download the Series 5 software. So I'm just going to take you out there now and show you some different ways of vocabulary has been organised within the Interact Series 5 software. From visual scenes, I'll demonstrate the gateway pages and show you some alphabet and quick talk pages as well. Okay. So I'm just heading into the Dynavox software now. So this is an example of one of the pages. If I go here into Setup and then the Page Navigator, this is kind of like the filing system for the software. So I can see those early emergent pages with 6 and 12 buttons are saved here. I'm in what we call the situational or context dependent user, child user, and I'm heading into the 20 cell page. But there are also pages with 40 cells and then those more independent pages that I was talking about before. So I'm going to click on Child 20 Master and go to that page and just demonstrate a few things to you. First of all, I wanted to show you we've got this quick talk button which appears on most pages within the system in the top right hand corner, and that's designed to put lots of messages that the person might want to say quickly. For example, calling out to mum or saying that they're finished or asking someone to wait. So all those sorts of words are saved there, and then I can click this close button and it takes me back to that home page. Down here we've got what's called My Words, and this is like a category based organisation where I can find all sorts of different drinks words, and then I can head back out to my categories page. I can find transport words, I can click here to go into the next page where I've got space to add in more words if I need to. So you can see there's lots of different categories. This is our fringe vocabulary and often has to be customised to the individual. For example, their own toys, their own people words, where you might add in classmates or teachers' names and so on. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Our ABC page, this particular page is set up to suit this 20 cell layout, but we could have the whole alphabet on one page and we can have an ABC or a QWERTY layout, and as the person types, the letters will appear in the top message window, and then they can click up here, and on the computer based software that will speak aloud. I can backspace just one letter, or I can clear and then head back to my home page. So the student might compose some words using whole words, for example bus, and then might head out into their keyboard page if they're able to type and finish their sentence off. We've also got what we call gateway pages, which are those sentence building pages to really help students be able to put words together to say what they want to say. So to give you an example, I can choose I, you'll see the word and the picture goes up into the message window. I can click on make and automatically it will take me into a page to assist me to finish off that sentence. I make sandwich. Now at the moment that's not a perfectly correct sentence, but some of our students have delayed language and syntax or sentence building skills, so they need practice to be able to learn to make up a perfect grammatically correct sentence, and that can grow over time, and you can increase the complexity of these sentence building pages as that individual's language skills develop. I can also just briefly show you a visual scene page. So if you click on My Room up here, we can see this animated page about someone's bedroom. And if I click on particular things, for example, on the video game on the bed, it's going to bring up whole phrases and messages related to that particular activity. For example, don't touch it, which that person might want to say to their brother. Or if I click on the cupboard, for example, there's games in the cupboard and I get games words being brought up. If I click on the books, it's got things like I could say, for example, I want, and then I could choose the particular book that I like, Captain Underpants. And from here we'd be able to add in the names of individual books, and we could also have a photo here instead of this more animated scene. So a photo of the classroom, for example, with these little hotspots which you can see here when I go into edit mode are all outlined, and they link off to further vocabulary or additional pages of vocabulary. Okay. Commonly the devices have an About Me page where we pop a photo of the AAC user here, and then they'll be able to choose these whole messages that they want to say quite efficiently. For example, my name is Kelly, I go to ILC school, and so on. And again, getting familiar with these clear and close buttons which appear on a number of different pages. Okay, I'll just head briefly back into my presentation. I just wanted to show you a little bit of basic programming that I thought might be useful if you're starting out with one of these devices with a new student. So let's head into, say, the My Words page and the People page. Commonly this page needs a little bit of customization to ensure that it's meeting the vocabulary needs of the user. So to quickly add something in, you click this green button up here, the modify button, and then you pick one of these empty cells to be able to modify. From this page, it teaches you that a button has three things. It has a behaviour, which tells it what to do, the label, which you can see under here, grandma and grandpa, and then also a picture, and that can be a symbol. In this particular device we have PCS or board maker symbols available, but we could also add in a photograph there if we needed to. So for this button I'm going to choose the behaviour, and I can go in here and see it's already speaking the label, and that's just what I want it to do. I'm then going to choose label, and from here I can use my keyboard or my mouse on the on-screen keyboard and type in the name of the teacher that I'm wanting to add in. And then I can head in and choose a symbol. I could search for teacher and would bring up a number of choices for me. Or if I wanted to import a photo, I can just click on this quick import button. I can show all the directories, and then you can head out whichever computer you were using, or if you've got a USB stick in the device, you can go out and choose that particular drive and find the photo that you're after. But in this case, I'm just going to choose an example of the teacher and hit OK, and you can see now that that button has been created. Okay. So it's not difficult to be able to add in new vocabulary. Another example might be perhaps you're working on an animals theme, so we could head into the animals page, and you may notice that some of the animals that you've been working on, for example wild animals like giraffe and lion and tiger, are missing, and it's important for the student to be able to have access to those words if they're part of the curriculum. So you can go in and be able to add in those particular words just using that green modify button. Another feature that's useful to know about is we can go up here into setup, and sometimes people might want to make some changes to the speech controls. That's quite a popular question. So all the voices aren't loaded because I'm using the computer software, but on the device itself you can change the voice just here, change the volume, and also change the rate or how fast the particular voice is speaking. And if it was saying some words wrong, there's also some feature here where we can edit how words are pronounced so that it's saying words in the correct way. Okay. Okay. So just finally, I wanted to take you out to the Dynavox website. Dynavoxtech.com is where you can go to access lots of support and implementation materials for this device. Spectronics is the local Australian supplier of Dynavox devices and can also provide support through their website and by phone and email. They also run some online training at both of these websites. It's really important, just as a reminder, that it should be someone's job to back up the device. If you're spending time customizing the vocabulary, you really want to make sure someone's backing it up. And if you need information about that, please don't hesitate to contact us. If you're new to using augmentative and alternative communication, or you'd like some general information, you can certainly head to our Pinterest website with lots of useful links about AAC resources, or head on to the ILC technology website. I'll just quickly head out now and show you the Dynavox website. So when you head on to the Dynavox website, you can just choose Australia or America. The information is much of a muchness. Here under Dynavox training, I was able to go into what we call the recorded web classes as opposed to the scheduled ones, which are run at US times that often aren't convenient. From here I can choose the particular device that I'm working on. So the Series 5 software covers both the Dynavox V and VMAX as well as the Maestro. So here you could log in and be able to watch a number of different videos about your specific device. What is the Series 5 software, if you'd like to know more about using the camera, and so on. So there's a number of different support online training materials available for you. It's also useful, you can go here to what's called supports and downloads. If you head to the download center, you can download manuals and other support material to help you learn about the device. And I really love this tool here called the knowledge base, where I can basically type in backing up. If I want instructions on how to do that, I can then choose the particular device that I'm after, the Maestro for example, and then search, and it will essentially bring up for me a range of different step-by-step instructions. So here we go. How do I back up a selected user? So that's got step-by-step instructions. You can see very clearly illustrated with some screenshots there exactly how you might go backing up that device to ensure you've saved it all for future use. So So that's all I've got to say today about Dynavox devices. If you need more information, please use the links suggested, or you'd be welcome to contact ILC Tech on these details. Thank you very much for your time.